Welcome to the game room. Waddler-D here, and we're back for more Sonic Robo Blast 2. And now that we've gotten some nice understanding of the controls and how they work, and a bit of an idea behind Sonic Robo Blast 2, let's actually jump into this game. And yeah, as you can see, save files every which way. I do like the aesthetic of it being kind of like Sonic 3 and Knuckles. However, we have choices right off the bat. Characters. And as you imagine, there's the Sonic and Tails route. There's Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. And there's actually other characters in this game. But I highly recommend that you guys stick with Sonic and Tails because this is definitely the best way to play this game for a number of reasons. For one, you get the advantages of Sonic, mainly the speed block. And dumb name, sorry, but don't like it. And the ability to fly with Tails. The reason why I don't like either of them by themselves is because of simple things. Too hard and too easy. Sonic has to deal with the low road most of the time, and usually that means the most difficult route, mainly because he has no ability to bypass any of the gimmicks and hazards along the way, and as a result, you have to stick with Sonic the whole way through. Tails, on the other hand, is just broken. He's just the speedrunner's best friend because he can just fly over everything and make it trivial. Moreover, he is just as fast as Sonic, if not faster, because of that ability. So I don't want to use Tails by himself, so you will not see a playthrough of that. There's plenty of speed runs that just are flat out Tails anyways. Knuckles, on the other hand, should get a little bit more credit because he is basically kind of like Sonic Plus, in that he doesn't have the high jump that Sonic does, but at the same time he has the glide, which complements the horizontal range, and the climb, which pretty much satisfies the vertical. Honestly, a good pick to have once you go through Sonic and Tails together, but this is definitely what I would recommend for people starting out with this game. You'll appreciate me for suggesting it because it just plays out very nicely. Speaking of, let's actually start this game. Greenflower Zone is certainly a great starting act. For one thing, you kind of get acquainted with how this game's going to be rolling. Mainly with the exploration and, more importantly, just taking in the whole Doom Sonic experience. It's different. For one thing, you're still going to have spikes, as you can see. But you're also going to have goodies, like you see that thing underneath that bridge? Good. Just keep it in mind. Of course, you have these very slow, pathetic enemies. I swear they actually are going at a frame per second, feels like. But yeah, these enemies should not cause you any issues. However, your focus here is to explore. And you want to take this route because extra life. Yes, please take that extra life. But we're not done yet. Before we even get this shield, let's talk about this shield before we take care of it. This is the force shield. This thing is awesome because it takes 2 hits, but it also has an air brake. Don't think you can do this though, because once you commit to the flock, you stay with the flock. And as a result, you're going to have to rely on good old holding back and praying to God. At least praying to some god. I don't... Just saying. But nevertheless, let's show off the Armageddon shield. As you can imagine, it does something explosive. And as you can see, it can be very helpful. But now I just have all these things surrounding me. This is creepy. I don't like all this publicity. Let's get the hell out of here, Tails. And then we pick up this Emerald Medallion. And this is the way to get into the specials. You guys are still around. Please get away from me. But yeah, once you pick up an Emerald Medallion, you will be able to kick some ass in a special stage. And by that, I mean you're going to get emeralds, you're going to get extra lives, and that is something I do not want. Don't collect speed shoes, because you get ruined with a not-so-great song. I mean, it's okay, it's a good speed song, but I kind of like this music better. Also, this is another Emerald Medallion. Pick it up. So... as you can see, there's a lot of little nooks and crannies, something you would not be expecting from a Sonic game. I mean, sure, they're in the older Sonic games, there were nice alternative routes and whatnot, but you didn't get all of this little exploration as much as this. Also, pick up that emblem if you see it solid. That means you haven't grabbed it yet. But if you do grab it, it will impact all the save files. So it's basically an all-around encompassing thing. And checkpoint posts, you should keep those. You should already know what the hell they are. I mean, it's literally just, hey, I can start from here when I die. Which you shouldn't ever do on this stage. Just saying. And, ooh, nice. This is, you already been acquainted with it. It's a whirlwind shield. Gives you a second jump if you use the spin button in midair. Pretty handy, but not necessary. I mean, that's the only thing it does good, and it's a good boost. I do like it. However, compared to other shields, it is the only one that doesn't have a passive ability to it. Like, for instance, the Force Shield taking 2 hits, the Armageddon Shield basically blowing up in enemies' faces when you get hit. And that's pretty much all that. Of course, you already know what Invincibility does. I don't even need to tell you that. Also useful. By the way, this is how you use Tails. Tails gets up to your face. He asks, do you want to lift, Sonic? And if you do that, Tails will start flying, and then you can grab onto him. Why do I want that shield? Also, another emblem. So I'm just showing you a good idea of the emblems. This is basically the perfect time for you to get acquainted with the controls. What the hell? I did not press the spin button, but it's just... I guess it just doesn't matter. Interesting. So if I fall off, and then press the jump button, there we go. Interesting, I did not know that. Let's see, things to do, alright. Showing off the springs, the horizontal springs. Horizontal springs are weird in this game. The reason being, let me just show you why. Yeah, if you do it like this, where you run into it, it's kind of comes off awkward, as in you bounce off it and then you slow yourself down because the camera's snapping itself forward. What's up, Eggman? How you doing? I don't know why there's a split on your face, but we can fix that by just putting mine on there, at least Sonic's. And that's the end of the act. If you're wondering what the emblem medallions do, they, like I said, special stage, but you also notice that there were 2. By the way, Knights just showed up and decided to take over the game for a bit. And the way it works is that you just hold right and Sonic will go right, and if you hold left, Sonic will either slam his face into the ground to make a U-turn, or he will just snap directly to the left. Also, notice how I'm making this nice trail? If you make a nice trail, you basically start to create a vacuum somehow, and as a result, you suck up everything and also create some things within certain circles. And a Nighttopian Helper is basically something that will grab spears within a particular range of you, kind of like a lightning shield effect. But more importantly, that's all it does. I mean, it's not fantastic, but it's there. You're better off just using your circles to do it yourself, because it's a stronger pull for one thing, and it's cooler. So the way it works is that you collect a number of spears, you break open that capsule, and then you get back to the pedestal that you started on. That's how special stages work. Nothing special, really. It's just playing Knights all over again. I am interested in playing Knights now, though. Now, the nice thing about collecting 2 Emerald Medallions is that you get to go to 2 special stages. And now you're wondering, okay, this is definitely not the frickin' nice green zone that we were at earlier. No. You're getting a preview into the second zone, because each special stage is a nice little snapshot of the second one. This is Paraloop one is insane. You seen all this freaking all that freaking glitter all over the place? That's what it does. It just makes a humongous loop that just absorbs existence into it. Look at all that. It does go away, of course, once you start seeing it not be all red and glowy. By the way, I didn't tell you about the brake and the accelerator. If you hit the jump button, extra time is always obviously good. If you hit the accelerator, or the jump button accelerates, and if you hit the spin, it's brake. So I highly recommend you just try to keep to a speed that you can control nice and smoothly. Otherwise, well, you're gonna miss out on some freaking blue spears, and that's not gonna work when you hit that thing, because if you're wondering what happens, I just did realize I got a freaking link freeze there earlier. But yeah, if you happen to get to that capsule without the amount of spears it's asking for, well, guess what? You're gonna have to go around and find some more blue spears, now won't you? Not a cool thing, but it happened. But as you can see, you get a ton of points from these, and if you get 50,000 points, as you saw earlier, you get an extra life, so you're pretty much guaranteed to get at least a extra life on these special stages. Don't skip on them, please. Now you get introduced to the real good stuff. The music just got a whole lot better, and the stage just got a whole lot bigger. Skipping that because I want you guys to listen to this music. Nice. Alright, so I really hope you guys liking how the music just ramping the hell up here, and it's just freaking amazing. This thing, by the way, is also amazing. This is the attraction shield. You're probably thinking, but it looks like a lightning shield. But it's not. Want to see why? Because it has a homing attack now. Very cool, to be quite frank. But also, it has the same flaws as you would expect from lightning shields all around. If you go too deep in the water, oh, it's gone. But we do get some invincibility if you decide to. There is like tons of invincibility modders in this game, I'm noticing, or at least this zone. But yeah, so far so good. This zone definitely increases the size, and we also get introduced to some more annoying enemies. Like these guys will literally just kill themselves on Sonic's invincible body. And we have these things. This is the problem with diagonal springs that you should be aware of immediately. Don't press anything when you bounce off of them. Unless you need to get some extra distance, then you hold forward. Because if you mess around with the stick, well, guess what? You're going to go wherever you're not wanting to go. And that's going to suck tremendous space. That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it's just not good for you. Because if you happen to... oh, wow, that's weird. If you happen to launch yourself into a death pit, or guide yourself into a death pit, it's your own fault. Because those springs generally will go at a set trajectory, and honestly, you don't have to do anything at that point. I mean, if you want to get extra speed or extra distance, by all means, hold forward, but do it wisely. Do it at a good time. Man, this music is so good. This is one thing I have to praise greatly for this game. The fact that they made a very Sonic-like presence in a Doom-like setting, and it's just like, ow. It's like, some of the things that they do is just, I don't know, I'm a little blown away. Now, if you're wondering, it's like, well, look at all that stuff you could have broken. Well, this is one problem here. I'm not Knuckles. So you can't do anything with that, but Knuckles can. So keep that in mind if you ever take this particular route. I mean, it'll be easy considering Knuckles can climb, unlike some other blue thing in my possession right now. I wonder if there's something good up here. All that for rings. Sure, I'll take them, get an extra life and everything. Ah, damn it. Yeah, there's a nice little thing up there. Tails, I need your assistance. Thank you. There's a one-up up here. Hit it. But before you even go to the end of the stage, if you happen to take this route on the way up, remember there's something underneath the bridge. I mean, there's a lot of that in this zone. Then we get introduced to this part. This part is the hardest part of the game, or at least the part where you could take damage. Screw up a bunch. Remember that part about diagonal springs? Don't touch anything, but also make sure you don't bounce into the bouncing fish. Not good. And then we're done with this level. Thanks, Tails, for your assistance. 12 lives already. That means we got 9 lives in the course of 2 acts. Guess what? We're gonna get some more now. Because we're now gonna get introduced to Flooded Cove Zone, Special Stage 3, and the amount of spears has gone up from 40 to 80 in just 2 special stages. Funny thing is that this is probably the biggest increase we'll get for a little while. Also kind of want that. 30 seconds is nothing to sneeze at. But this still will not challenge you in terms of special stage goodness. If anything, this is just more of the same. Except, yep, a lot more stuff to collect. Mainly in rings, and just a lot more space to explore. But also a lot more, like, scenic... Like, there's just a lot of good things that can be said about the aesthetics in this game. I mean, considering the engine it's on, you usually don't see all these... I mean, it just looks nice. The fact that there's slopes surprises me even more, because it's like, did Doom have slopes? I recall Doom 1 just literally being stairs and... Yeah. I mean, granted, yeah, there are slopes, but it's just the way that they're made just look a lot more natural and a lot more appealing, in a way. But enough glorifying about this game. We got ourselves 80, so we might as well grab the emerald and run back. And the thing that can be quite nasty is the return back to the pedestal. Like, these can get very malicious sometimes, or distracting. Like, for instance, they're like, oh, I think you might want to pick some stuff up here. And another one of those freaking super glittery paraloops. Good idea here, because you're gonna probably might need it here with all this absorption. To be fair, definitely want to do it over here too. And if you see that emblem there, yeah, you're gonna have to try to do something funny here to grab that one. That's interesting. Maybe because I already have it, but yeah, you can grab emblems from the background as well. Not all of them, but some. It's weird. I ran into one where I tried to do the same thing and it just sat there, and I was like, well, I feel like a dummy. And you also want to make sure to get a lot of points on these. And the only way you can really do that is by just having massive links, which sometimes you can just have like a 400 link just from collecting everything. Did I mention you can instantaneously skip all that by pressing the spin button? Do yourself a favor and do that. Now we get to Tavern Fortress Zone, and this is where it starts getting rough. As you can see, same amount of spears, but we get introduced to Hazard. I'll shut up while you guys can listen to this music. Oh, okay, there's a Hazard. Alright, so about the hazards, since it's left... Oh wow, there's nothing down here. Hazards are pretty nasty. They aren't, like, too bad for the moment, but if you hit one, you lose 5 seconds. 5 seconds is not a big deal at the moment, but when you have 90 seconds to start, it becomes a massive deal. Also, do not get crushed by those bookcases. You will lose 5 seconds if you get smashed between the ceiling or the floor. But considering how slow they're moving, you won't even have to worry about that. Again, nice example of how these levels get a lot more, you know, complicated. That's another thing that you must keep in mind while you're going through these. These stages start to get a little maze-like, and they start getting very confusing. Like you saw there, I'm like, oh, wrong direction. Guess what? You're going into a wall. And there's not a whole damn lot you can do, other than going in the right direction. Watch out for these. This is probably the hardest part of this area, but as long as you remember that that's all there, you'll be fine, and boom, end of the level. So pretty much that's a nice introduction to the special stages, in that they can get tougher and tougher. Like, the 5th one is going to really start ramping it up. In the 6th one, whoo-hoo, chances to fail. Alright, so now that we've gotten past 2 acts, we got a boss fight. That's pretty much how it worked back in the first Sonic game-ish. More like Sonic 3 Blast. But yeah, Robotnik is in his freaking Eggmobile. And it's not very threatening. It just shoots a laser at you, makes a trail against the ground. As long as you just are very aware of it and moving out of the way laterally from him, you won't get hit. Simple. What you're thinking, is that all? Is that all he's gonna do? Well, if you get trapped against a wall, yeah, that might be a little troublesome. But he has... Oh my god, am I gonna say it? He has a pinch mode! Oh man, and he's shooting 3 lasers at me at once. So what you want to do here is you just want to wait for him to take out all his aggression on the grass, because apparently he is not a fan of high brush, and just go in for the shot after the third shot. But you can be gutsy by just moving in up close near the end of the first or second laser and just taking a pot shot. Pretty simple, pretty effective, but like I say, do what you want to do. It's not my choice to guide you. You can do it. You can beat this game yourself. But unfortunately, I'm not going to beat it in this video. However, we will be doing this zone next time, and Techno Hill Zone, as you can already hear, has some pretty kick-ass music, and it just gets better and better. So join me next time as we go through the chemical plant zone of this game. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. Definitely provide any comments. I look forward to them the most. And if you're wanting to see more content like this, just subscribe. Always helps. So thanks for watching, have a great day, and adios.